Assalamu alaikum. Hope everyone is doing well. Today we'll be going over numbers. So to first understand numbers in Arabic, you gotta first commit to memory the cardinal numbers. And you should know that just like other isms, numbers are both masculine and feminine. And they're a bit unique in the sense that numbers from 3 to 10, when they're masculine, they appear feminine with a ta marbuta ending, but they're actually masculine. So now let's take a look at how numbers work when counting something. So when counting, you always have the number, which is the adad, and then you have the thing being counted, right, which is called the ma'dud. So for example, when counting for 1 or 2, right, you have the counted, which comes first. So whatever you're counting will come first, and then the number itself, whether it's 1 or 2, will come second, and the grammar between them is going to be mawsuf sifa. So therefore, all four properties must match between the counted and the number. So here we have kitabun, which is what's being counted, and then wahidun, which is the number itself. So this is one book. So let's take a look at a few examples. So here for the numbers 1 and 2, again, the counted comes first and the number comes second, and the grammar is going to be mawsuf sifa. So here we have kitabun wahidun. Again, kitabun is the thing being counted, wahidun is the number. All four properties match, therefore you translate it as one book. And then the same thing here for sayyaratani ithnatani. So the counted comes first and then the number after. And because sayyaratan is feminine, we have to use the feminine form of the number 2 because all four properties need to match for it to be mawsuf sifa. So this becomes 2 cars. Now let's take a look at counting 3 to 10. So for 3 to 10, the number comes first and then the counted comes second. And the grammar is going to be mudaf mudaf ilay. So the number is going to be the mudaf, and what's being counted is going to be the mudaf ilay. And the number will match in gender of the counted, and then the counted is also going to be in the plural form. So now let's take a look at some examples. Here we have thalathatu kutubin. So thalathatu is going to be our number, and it comes first, and it's going to match the singular gender of the counted. So this is kutubin, which is a broken plural, and broken plurals are feminine, but it's going to match the singular gender, and the singular form is just kitab, and the gender for that is masculine. So therefore, this is going to be masculine. And like I said before, for numbers between 3 to 10, the masculine form is going to have a ta marbuta ending. So this is the masculine form. And then the counted is going to come second, and it's going to be plural. And that's why we have kutubin. And the grammar between these two is going to be idafa. So this is mudaf, and this is mudaf ilay. And that's why this is in jar. So this becomes 3 books. And again, the same thing here. We have arba'u sayyaratin. So number comes first, and it's gonna match the singular gender of the counted. So the singular gender for sayyaraton is feminine. That's why we have arba'u without the ta marbuta, since this is the feminine form. And then the counted is gonna come second, and it's gonna be in the plural form, and that's why we have sayyaratin. We have the atin ending because it's in jar. So this is 4 cars. And so the same rule applies for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So now let's take a look at 11 to 19. So first we have the number in the ones column, and then after that the number in the tens column, and then the counted. And the number in the ones column is going to match the gender of the counted, and it's going to have a fatha ending. And the number in the tens column is going to match the gender of the counted as well, and also have the fatha ending. And the counted is going to be indefinite, nasb, and singular. So now let's take a look at a few examples. So here we have ahada ashara kitaban, right, which is 11 books. So first you have the number in the ones column, which is ahada, which is just 1, and it's going to match the gender of the counted. And then we have ashara, which is the number in the tens column, and it's also going to match the gender in the counted, which is masculine. That's why it's ashara. And then we finally have the counted, and it's going to be singular, nasb, and indefinite. So that's why it's kitaban. So all this translates into 11 bucks. Next we have إثنتا عشرة سيارة. So again, the number in the ones column comes first. So here we have 2. And it's going to match the gender of the counted. And the counted is feminine. Therefore, we have the ta here for femininity. So that's why it's إثنتا. And then we have عشرة, the number in the tens column. And again, matching in gender. So it's also feminine. And then we have سيارة. This is going to be in the singular form, nasb, and indefinite. So this is 12 cars. And so here we have ثلاثة عشر كتابا, which is 13 books. So ثلاثة is 13, and it's going to match the counted in gender. So this is masculine, so this is also masculine, and it has a fatha ending. And then ashara is the number in the tens column, so 10. And again, it's just going to match the counted, so masculine. And then kitaban is going to be nasb, singular, and indefinite. And then so this is going to be 13 books. So now let's take a look at the multiples of 10. So for the multiples of 10, it's pretty simple. You have the number first, and then you have the counted. The number is not going to have any gender, and then the counted is going to be in the indefinite, nasb, and singular form. So now let's take a look at a couple examples. So here we have عشرون كتابا. So the number comes first. It's going to have no gender, and it's going to have the pattern of the sound masculine plural. That's why we have the una ending for rafa, right? And then if it was in nasb or jar, it would have the ina ending. And then after that, we have the counted, and this is just going to be indefinite, singular, and nasb. So this becomes 20 books. And then same thing for 40 cars. Here we have أربعون سيارة. Again, no gender for the number, and it just matches the pattern of the sound masculine plural. That's why we have the una ending. And then سيارة is indefinite, singular, and nasb. So this is 40 cars. So same thing with ستون كتابا. So number comes first, and then the counted number has the una ending, no gender, and then kitaban is going to be indefinite, singular, and nasb. So now let's take a look at counting 21 to 99. So first you have the number in the ones column, and it's going to match the gender of the counted, and you're going to insert a wow right after it. And then you have the number in the tens column, and this is going to match the state of the number in the ones column, and it's going to have no gender. And then you have the counted finally, which is going to be indefinite, nasb, and singular. So let's take a look at a few examples. So here we have أحد وعشرون كتابا. So the number in the ones column is أحد, because this is 21, right? And then you have the wow right after it. And then you have the number in the tens column, which is عشرون. And again, no gender, and it's going to match the state of the number in the ones column. So this is rafa. So this is also going to be rafa. And that's why we have the una ending for 20. So this is 21 together. And then we finally have the counted, which is kitaban, and this is going to be in singular, nasb, and indefinite. And then same thing here with إثنتان وثلاثون سيارة. So this is 32 books, right? So we have the number in the ones column, which is 2. So that's why we have إثنتان. And this is going to match the gender of what's being counted. So that's why this is feminine. Then we have the wow after. And then we have ثلاثون for the number in the tens column for 30. No gender, and it's going to match the state of the number in the ones column, which is rafa. So that's why we have the una ending. And then we have سيارة, which is the counted, and it's going to be singular, nasb, and indefinite. And then the same thing with ستة وسبعون كتابا. 76 books. So we have 6 for the number ones column, and it's going to match the gender of what's being counted. So this is masculine, so this is also masculine. Remember, the masculine form for numbers between 3 to 10 is going to have a ta marbuta ending. So this is the masculine form. And then we have sab'una for 70, so no gender, and it's going to match the state of the number in the ones column, which is rafa. And then we just have kitaban. So this is 76 books. Now let's take a look at counting 100 and 200. So this is pretty simple. So here we have a mudaf ilayh structure. The number is going to come first, the counter is going to come second, and the number is genderless, and then the counted is also going to be singular. So let's take a look at a few examples. So here we have mi'atu kitabin, right? So number comes first and it's genderless. And then we have the counted, and it's going to be in the singular form. And the grammar between these two is idafa. So this is the mudaf, no al, no tanween. And this is the mudaf ilayh, which is going to be in jar. So this is 100 bucks. So for 200 cars, we have mi'ata sayyaratin. And so again, the number comes first and it's genderless, and then the counted comes second and it's going to be singular. But since the grammar is mudaf ilayh, the mi'ata is actually mi'atani, but the noon is going to be dropped because the mudaf can't have tanween. So that's why it's mi'ata sayyaratin, or if it's in the nasb or jar form, it would be mi'atay sayyaratin, right? And again, the noon is dropped. And now let's look at counting 1,000 and 2,000. So again, same thing as before, mudaf ilayh structure. The number is going to be genderless, and the counted is going to be in the singular form. So here we have alfu kitabin. So alfu is just 1,000 and it's genderless. And then we have the counted after, which is going to be in the singular form. So this is just mudaf ilayh, and that's why this is in jar. So this is 1,000 books. And then same thing here. This is going to be alfa sayyaratin or alfay sayyaratin, depending on whether it's rafa or nasb or jar, right? And this is just 2,000 cars. And so that's all for today, and I'll see you guys next time.